World Inkers Monthly magazine is a fine source for your literary interests. It's an all-source magazine with poetry, prose, and essays and articles, as well as interviews. It's all full-color art and photography from a variety of voices and artists. You will find this magazine entertaining. This is an all-purpose readership, and we are looking for new voices. This sleek, full-color edition of World Inkers Monthly magazine will be something pleasant for your eyes as well as for your mind. And we're looking for authors for one book promotion in the magazine. If you're a business, we want to promote your business. You may submit your book reviews, your academic or non-academic articles on the humanities. Are you curious about financial literacy? Then take a look at Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO's new program on Parrot TV. It's called Financial Focus University. This is an excellent program to learn about questions related to your own finances post-COVID, and how you can manage your money, how you can work with your tax situation. And this is an excellent and informative discussion of financial literacy. With Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO, your financial problems will be solved at Parrot TV with Financial Focus University.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO, and I want to welcome you to Financial Focus University. I am the founder of a 25-year money management firm called the Financial Advisors Group, and I am the current owner of a financial virtual family office called RIVIECCIO Financial Advisors. Many may also know me as an adjunct professor. I am an adjunct professor of business and personal finance for both Herbert H. Lehman College here in the Bronx, as well as Monroe College here in the Bronx. Today's show, I think, is very exciting. We're going to be covering three major topics. Topic one, we'll be covering Bidenomics and war. Topic two, we're going to talk about how to correctly purchase life insurance. Get a pen. And topic three, our Ask the Question segment, where we have a wonderful young man by the name of Jason that sadly lost his mother a year ago and wants to know whether he should file for income taxes if he's no longer with us. We're going to explore all of those questions right now. So we'll start with our first segment, Bidenomics. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware that the stock market, the U.S. stock market, had a 4-day week, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because Monday was a U.S. holiday, right? Well, for the U.S. market, that was true. Of course, overall, that was not true, right? The world markets were open on Monday. You had the Asian market, the European market, the Japan market. And in a few moments, you're going to see in our Bidenomics segment a slide that pretty much covers the whole week. Now, let me share that week with you now. That week was actually, at the end of the day, a very good week. But when you hear that phrase, sometimes being on the, being in the stock market is like riding a roller coaster. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coney Island. This was the week of Coney Island. We're going to go to the next slide, which pretty much covers the Bidenomics of the week. So on Monday, as you can see in the chart, on Monday, President Putin declared war. He declared war. And what happened? Well, thank God the U.S. stock markets were closed, right? But the world markets were not. When he declared war at approximately 3-4 o'clock in the morning, the world stock markets had, of course, a very adverse effect. The world markets, on average, lost about 2%. That was Monday. We woke up on Tuesday. What happened? President Putin decided to go forward into his campaign of war. What was our response? Our response, Joe Biden said we were going to have economic sanctions. Well, what did the U.S. stock market say on Tuesday? It went down. It went down 1.5% on Tuesday, right? So we got a world market here at 2%, and now the U.S. market also went down 1.5%. So what happened on Wednesday? Well, Wednesday was a very quiet Wednesday. Why? Because a lot of people don't know that Russia was celebrating their national holiday. So while Russia, including Putin, was being quiet, our stock market didn't know how to interpret that quietness. So what happened? We went berserk. The stock market went down 1.8%. We're going down even more, guys, right? 3.3% we're at now in the minus side. So now we go into Thursday. We go into yesterday. Well, what happened? Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, thank God for U.S. economic indicators, because yesterday and today, economic indicators started to come in. So on Thursday, we had jobless claims came in. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They were a little bit better. They were a little bit better. That means a few extra people were working. A few extra people got some income. And the U.S. stock market loved to hear it. They loved to hear it so much, the market went up 1.4%. And then on Friday, we got some more good economic stat news. Our income as United States citizens was flat. Yes, we always wanted to go up, but thank God it didn't go down, but it was flat. So what happened? Well, we were still spending, ladies and gentlemen. Sadly, we could have been spending from debt. We could have been, spending from savings. We could have been spending from stimulus, but we were spending. The consumer was spending. Month over month, it went up 0.6%. And a core indicator of inflation also came out today. And that indication showed 0.6% as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would be remiss if I didn't say to you, on an annual basis, right, that's 7%. So in reality, that's a little bit scary. But you know what? The markets were so great to get this good news. Today, they exploded. They exploded so much, I'm sure my executive producer hates me because I had to send him this revised chart 3 times. It went up 2.2%. So how did it do for the whole week? If you look down at the bottom of that chart, you'll see 3 indications. For the week, from Monday to Friday, which in United States terms is Tuesday to Friday, we had a good week. Our average was 0.3% positive for the week, right? Amazing. What a roller coaster ride. But how are we doing from January 1? From January 1 to today, how are we doing? Well, we're down 6.3%. We were down over 7% prior to today. 1 year. 1 year from 1 year to the other. How would you have done, even with this collapse in the market for the week? Well, you still would have gained 7.2%. Ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly introduce you to one of my co-hosts in one of my other shows here on Parrot TV, Friday at 12 o'clock. I co-host a political show with this young man here. His name is Mr. Robert Press. Some of you might know him as the renowned political reporter in the Bronx. Some might know him as being on Bring Down the House, which was a movie about Ocasio-Cortez. But what you may not know, ladies and gentlemen, is that I believe this is a very, very rich young man. Because on the west side of the Bronx, we call him Scrooge Bob. That's what we call him. And as the markets were going crazy on Monday, he just kept calling me. He kept calling me. He said, Anthony, what's going on? Anthony, what's going on? He was the picture of gloom and doom. And he wasn't even one of my clients, right? He was just calling me. He was going berserk. So we're going to call the year-to-date, the 2022 return here on Bidenomics, Scrooge Bob or Bidenomics Bob. We'll figure that out as we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in a moment.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Segment 2, how to correctly buy life insurance. Now, please grab a pen, and I apologize if I go quickly. And of course, feel free to reach out to our show if you want any of these slides. Now, I'm going to cover the why, the what, and the where when it comes to correctly buying life insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, when we purchase life insurance, we're either really purchasing it for one of two reasons. We're either purchasing it to cover the cost of our burial, or we're purchasing life insurance to give to family, or maybe give to charity, or what we call in income tax terms, gifting, right? So or we might even be doing the combination of the two. So the real question becomes is, what type of life insurance do we want, right, to be able to do those things? Well, in today's life insurance world, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost like Coca-Cola, right? There's 39 different versions. But when we go to the next slide, you'll see that there are really only two types of life insurance. One is called term, the other one is called whole life. And you'll see on the left and right-hand side, I have small definitions for both. When we talk about term life insurance, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a policy that you purchase, of course, based on your health, right? And also remember, with life insurance in general, the longer we wait to get it, the more it's going to cost. Why? Because it's all based on our life insurance mortality. The only one that lives to 300 with gray hair like this is me. Everybody else is presumed to die. So, keeping those things in mind, when we want to purchase term insurance, what is term insurance? Term insurance is insurance based on the term that you want to be covered. So that coverage is up to you and the company that provides it. That term could be 1 year. That term could be 5 years. That term could be 10 years. And as you're fixed into that term, that price stays fixed. Now, let's say you have a 10-year term policy and that policy is up. Well, then that means the insurance is up. Can you renew it for another 10 years? Of course you can. Is it going to cost you more money to do that? Of course it is. Why? Because now you're 10 years older, right? So the odds of you dying are better than they were 10 years ago, right? Let's not hope so, but those are the mathematical odds, right? So term insurance is basically a coverage that covers you for a certain period of time, and the cost of that insurance is relatively cheap because you're only covering it for a certain period of time. Whole life insurance is a little bit different. Generally speaking, whole life insurance is a little bit costly more than term insurance. Why? Because when you purchase whole life insurance, no matter when you purchase it, it covers you for a lifetime. So if you purchased it and you had it for 50 years and you died, you're good. If you purchased it and you died 6 months from now, you're good. If you purchased it and you lived for 80 years and 80 years from now you died, you're good. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? For those 80 years, the price is the same, right? So why is whole life more costly than term? Two reasons. I just told you one. The second reason is that within the element of whole life insurance, it has two features. One is, of course, the actual insurance. And number two is that it has built in what I like to call a built-in savings account. That a portion of your premiums, that's what they're called, premiums, goes into that little savings account bucket, right? 2/3 of it generally goes to the insurance costs. 1/3 of it goes into the savings account bucket. And yes, you get a very small amount of interest on that savings account bucket. Why is that bucket there? Well, Some people would say, God forbid, right? If you have an emergency and if this is one area where you need to take money out, that's the area where you would take it out. But that feature costs money. So generally speaking, whole life will generally be more costly than term. So when you look down the middle of that slide, you'll see, all right, so then where is the best place to either get term or whole life? Ladies and gentlemen, today we live in an online world. So yes, you can still go to the local office, life insurance office. You can pick any company. I don't want to mention any in particular. Or you can now go online, or what they like to call direct, right? You can go to that insurance company's name.com, and guess what? You can go right there and get it. So you got one or two options. With the in-office option, you got an agent, right? You got an agent that provides you service and advice. And because of having an office that has service and advice, and it might have cookies and cream and milk and all that other good stuff, well, you got to pay for that. When you go online, do you get an agent? No, you don't. Do you get a customer service representative? Yes, you do. Can you purchase life insurance through that customer representative online? Absolutely. How much is that insurance policy? Normally speaking, it's generally 30 to 50% cheaper to get it direct or online as opposed to in office. Why? Again, two reasons. Number one, you're not dealing with an office. You're dealing with an internet provider company. And number two, again, the agent, and most people don't know this, ladies and gentlemen, so I'll give you a little inside ball tip for today. Agents get paid on commission. They do not get paid a salary. So when you're paying for the overall cost of the policy, part of that policy, especially the first year, which is heavily indexed on commissions, you're paying the agent's commission. Now, there's nothing wrong with commissions, right? We all got to get paid, but that's how they get paid. Through online or direct, customer service representatives get a salary. So those two factors do not come into the cost of life insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want any of these charts, feel free to give me a phone call, 347-575-5045. We'll be back in a moment.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are you still with us? I'm so glad you're with us. I hope we're informing you. I hope we're educating you. More than anything else, I hope that we're very clear in what we want to present to you. And what we want to present to you is financial education. So, going to our next and final segment of the evening, ask a question. As we always like to encourage, we want to encourage audience participation. So you might see a phone number on your screen. You might see an email address on your screen. Write us, call us, ask me a question. I'll be glad to answer it. I don't know everything, but I'll try my best. We had a young man by the name of Jason that asked us a question for this week's show. It's actually a very sensitive question, and I'll tell you why for the sensitivity in a moment. His question was, his mother died in 2021. and he wanted to know, does he have to file income taxes for his mother? And I hope I don't get too emotional on the show. My mother left us in August of 2021. Of course, I still think about her daily, more often than not. And our family is presented with this question too. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what's going on. Let me suggest what you should do. So, as I said to Jason, I said, Jason, long story short, yes, somebody has to file for your mother. Why? Well, because she might have received income, right? If she left us anytime after January 1 of that year, she could have gotten any type of income. She could have gotten wage income. She could have got bank income. She could have got self-employed income. She could have got government income. She could have got, there are 22 sources of income that we all could have gotten money from. And we don't know if any of those areas apply to Jason's mother, right? Jason's mother also got Social Security, right? Well, that's income, right? So the government has these things on file. So, you know, not to sound cold about it, but as far as the government is concerned, as I said to Jason, Jason's mother is still alive. In 2021, as far as the government is concerned, Jason's mother is still alive. So what does Jason do? I said, Jason, I think you should do two things. Number one, right now, go to your income tax preparer and ask to put in an extension. That way, you don't have to worry about getting mom's taxes done. You got 6 months after April 15th. And why does he want to do that? Why does he want to sort of postpone it and delay it? Because the second and more important thing should happen, which is once you put in the 6 months extension, call the IRS. And what you say to the IRS is very simply, you want an IRS transcript of your mother's file. You can request it on the phone. There is no fee. If you want to go, into the details of the situation, I would presume the representative will be more than helpful, especially because it's free. And the reason why you want this transcript is because the transcript tells you what she got, right? So now that you know what she got, now you give it to the income tax person so they can file the taxes appropriately. Who knows? She might be due a refund. There are credits and deductions that have happened in the income tax code in the last couple of years, such as the elderly credit, that she might be eligible for, and that might give her a little boop in the refund, which brings us to a small problem. Should Jason file? Right? I just said that was Jason's mother, right? Should Jason file? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it now gets a little bit tricky with estate planning, so listen to me carefully. If she died with a will, then the person responsible for doing her taxes is the executor of that will. If there is no will or no executor, the IRS will accept what is called the next of kin. Whoever files for those taxes will either get the refund if one is due, or if they owe, of course, they have to pay those taxes. So I would say again, if there was a will, or if there is a family person in charge, you should defer to that person, as I said to Jason, before Jason files. If Jason gets permission from other family members, which sometimes, of course, can be tricky within itself, but I told him if he does, he should do it immediately. And of course, I told him to come see me so we can get the paperwork in before you have what I call Antilles of the world that all of a sudden say, no, it's mine, no, it's mine. That's another subject matter. So, Jason, I hope we were helpful to you. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, write us a question. We'll be glad to answer them on the show for you. I want to thank you for coming to Financial Focus University. We will be on every Friday at 5 talking about Bidenomics, talking about how-to scenarios, and of course, the answers to the questions that you send us. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good weekend. We'll see you next Friday at 5.
World Inkers Monthly magazine is a fine source for your literary interests. It's an all-source magazine with poetry, prose, and essays and articles, as well as interviews. It's all full-color art and photography from a variety of voices and artists. You will find this magazine entertaining. This is an all-purpose readership, and we are looking for new voices. This sleek, full-color edition of World Inkers Monthly magazine will be something pleasant for your eyes as well as for your mind. And we're looking for authors for one book promotion in the magazine. If you're a business, we want to promote your business. You may submit your book reviews, your academic or non-academic articles on the humanities and the arts, as well as your literary writing and creative output to publication.worldinkers@gmail.com. World Inkers Monthly magazine does not spare any ink. Keep inking for World Inkers Monthly magazine. Hi, I am Dustin Pickering from Parrot Literary Corner. You know me, your noble and honest host, and I've got exciting news for you. Last anthology, Series 1, The Literary Parrot, did such a great job. We wanted to continue to provide this community service to our viewers and to our contributors to the program. So please get up and get a copy immediately. You know, if you're in this book, you want to get a copy. If you're not in the book, you want to get a copy and see what we're doing. You want to be excited with us. We want you on this program, and we hope to see you sometime soon on The Literary Parrot. You have to get your hands on this copy. It's amazing. It's an absolutely beautiful anthology meant just for you. Our past guests have been invited back to contribute yet again to this Series 2. We do this quarterly anthology. We will be doing this after our 200 episode milestone. As of this last quarter, we reached 200 episodes, and past that, get up and get a copy immediately. This is the only TV show on earth for creative writers, and our guests are amazing. They're also community activists building from the ground up. This program is for everybody out there who is a creative mind. Order several copies if you can and donate to local libraries. Give them to your friends, cousins, fans, supporters, anybody that you think loves poetry. And it's not just poetry in this book. Remember, this is creative mind. So we have prose, fiction, short stories, essays, artwork, anything you can think of, artistically creative, photographs. Everything in this book is packed. It is packed. It is just absolutely packed. If you want to get your hands on it now. Are you curious about financial literacy? Then take a look at Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO's new program on Parrot TV. It's called Financial Focus University. This is an excellent program to learn about questions related to your own finances post-COVID, and how you can manage your money, how you can work with your tax situation. And this is an excellent and informative discussion of financial literacy. With Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO, your financial problems will be solved at Parrot TV with Financial Focus